And we are back with Ginny Maurer from Cruise Planners, and she is answering your travel questions live from a cruise ship. So she is out and about and on the seas. All right, this person is saying, I'm still scared to travel. So they just want to dip their toe in the water here, Ginny. They said, where should I go? And I live in Greensboro.
So I would recommend, there are some amazing places really within driving distance. If you want to just stick your toe in the water, maybe try a local beach, go over to the mountains. There's some nice ski resorts right now that I would, start there.
Right, because if you're scared to travel, you probably don't want to be on a plane, which gets me to my next question. Is there any way to get an exemption so I don't have to wear a mask on the plane?
Unfortunately not. You must wear a mask, and if they even see you not wearing a mask or dipping it down, they will turn the plane around and take you back home, and you will be banned from the airline.
Yeah, and that is not a good list to be on if you like to travel. All right, this person is asking, what travel locations are the most strict when it comes to COVID rules? And I'm sure that changes here and there, but...
It does, and, it depends. Are we talking, the U.S.? Are we talking Europe? I think overall, Europe right now, and even probably Canada. Canada is definitely one of the ones that is highest on the list.
For being strict with COVID protocols?
For being strict, yes.
Mm-hmm. And so is that something where they're requiring like vaccinations before you go plus a test, or?
Yes. So you must be vaccinated. And I think that's what's really we're seeing is that almost everywhere out of the U.S. is, other than some of your Caribbean islands and Mexico, are requiring vaccination status. And many are requiring vaccination status and an actual test. And that's what cruises are doing also right now. Even though we're 100% vaccinated, you must test also. And then everyone must test to come back into the United States when flying.
Okay, and so like for that cruise, for instance, do they do the test before you get on there, or do you have to do that on your own?
Each one is a little bit different. And they've made it possible for you to, get the local test. You can do home tests now, or you can do, actually Virgin, they did it for us right when we got to the port. You came in about half hour early before your boarding time. They took the test. When you got your results, you were cleared to get on the ship.
All right, this question is, can Americans travel to Europe now?
If you're vaccinated, yes.
And then this is a follow-up question. What happens if I lose my vaccine card on a trip? Will I be able to get home?
Yes, you can definitely get home. You do not actually need, as a U.S. citizen, you do not need a vaccine card to get back in the United States. But I do always suggest making a copy of it, carrying a paper copy and a copy on your phone.
Yes, and the front and the back, because some folks like the front and the back. All right, this person is asking, what added precautions are hotels doing with the pandemic?
So some of the things you're seeing is that you probably don't have room service, even the cleaning of your room, they're not doing that. But the sanitation, I think, is exemplary. What they're doing, the way they're going through the cleaning process. A lot of times what I'm seeing is that they will rotate a room. For example, they may put someone in when you check out. It might be 2 or 3 days later before they put someone back in that same room.
Oh, interesting. Okay. We did a story on this many months ago, but this person is asking, are rental cars still a struggle to get on vacation?
It is getting better. And again, depending on where you're going. Hawaii is still struggling a little bit. Actually, even Alaska is struggling, but of course we're coming to the end of the Alaska season. But it is getting a little bit better. But, just like the person earlier who asked if she could fly without a mask, there are people that don't want to fly or can't fly. So rental cars are, just becoming more and more popular.
This person is asking what the rules are for travel in New York City.
Travel in New York City. So you can go, but you do have to have most restaurants and nightclubs, shows are requiring a copy of or the original vaccination card.
This person says, is it easier and more cost efficient to book a cruise through the cruise line directly or through the travel agency?
Always use a travel advisor. They are actually looking out for you. The cost, I've spoken that I don't charge a fee. Most agencies do not charge a fee, and we're probably going to get you a better rate, and we're servicing you here when things change and keeping you updated on what the actual protocols are.
All right, and a quick question. Does a mask need to be on 24/7 while flying?
While flying?
Does a
sorry,
mask
was that-
need to be on 24/7 while you're flying?
Yes.
Yeah, unless you're eating or drinking, they say you do have to wear your mask. All right, so Ginny's
Sure.
been joining us live by the cruise line. I can see the water going by on the windows behind you. Enjoy the rest of your cruise. Thank you for joining us live today. We so appreciate it. Thank you for sending in your questions. If you missed any of these questions, we're going to put them in the Two Wants to Know section for you.